Hello and welcome to the Foodie. This is a special episode, an episode which is going to get you high and definitely not leave you dry. What I mean is, this is an episode on wine and cooking with wine. For all of y'all who think that wine only comes out of a bottle, you are mistaken. This is what wine is made out of, and I'm standing in a vineyard. Yes, I'm at Sula Vineyards in Nasik, which is about 4 hours away from Mumbai. The weather is crisp and cool, ideal for tasting some wine and getting educated about wine drinking, wine making, and wine consuming. Okay, with me is Swati. Hello, Swati.
Hi, Kunal.
Hi. Look, I'm illiterate as far as how wine is made. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm hoping that you'll give me an education about all this.
Okay.
So let's start. Come on.
Okay.
Start teaching me.
So, good wine is made in great vineyards.
Good wine is made in great vineyards. So this is a great vineyard.
This is a great vineyard.
Is Nasik a good place to grow grapes?
But there was a lot of contemplation in the beginning and people laughed and said, what, ha ha ha. But Nasik is the largest grape growing region in the country.
It always has been.
It always has been because they were making table grapes.
Okay, it's what you eat.
Yeah. So now, let me just tell you about the difference between table grapes and wine grapes.
Wine grapes.
First of all, visibly, they're smaller.
Yeah, this is. There we go. It's nice and sweet.
It's very sweet. It's also got seeds.
Yeah, the seed inside.
Which is not what's supposed to happen with table grapes, with the fruit.
Right.
Smaller.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So here it's sweeter because the sugar has to ferment into alcohol.
But tell me, now these are, I wouldn't call them red, they're purple.
They're almost black, yeah.
Yeah,
They're purple black, yeah.
So, is white wine made out of white grapes and red wine made out of red grapes?
No, traditionally white grapes make white wine.
Okay.
And red grapes make red wine. However, let me show you something here.
Okay.
That the juice coming from a red grape is also white.
Oh, very clever.
Right? So how does red wine get to be red? Well, a lot of characteristics, apart from the color, come from the skin of the grape.
Okay.
So in the case of red wine, you keep the wine in contact with its skin for many number of days, depending on what you want your wine to come out looking like.
I want to see a little more of how this is made. Okay, this is wonderful. But can you sort of...
You know, there's that whole traditional belief of stomping on grapes and, you know, so you could give it a hand. It's very tedious.
This is the... What is this called?
It's called a vat.
A vat.
It's basically the wine you're going to make today.
In this?
Yes. The grapes we saw, Cabernet Sauvignon, you have to stomp it.
I have to stomp them?
Yeah.
So many?
All the juice, yeah.
Can I have a smaller portion? I've got only 2 feet.
This is what we need to do.
Really? This is how they used to do it in the old days?
This is how they did it in the old days.
Yeah? But it's too much of hard work.
Okay.
Too much of hard work.
We've got a relief option for you.
Oh, this is much more manageable.
Yeah. So, let's get your feet all washed up.
Oh, this is great fun. Come on, Swati, come on in. This is like a bloody dance, man. How many people do you have employed here who do this?
Well, you know, there's another way of doing this.
Is there?
Yeah, and I'll call upon Ajoy Shaw. He's our chief winemaker to
Hi, Ajoy. Kunal.
tell you how it's really done.
You mean it's not really done like this?
No, it's not. But you have done a good job.
Yeah.
And I think we should hire you for the harvest, actually.
Yeah, I'll come. If you give me free lodging and boarding, I'll come and stay here. It's not a problem at all.
No, usually what we do is we put this into the machine and then the grape.
But does this tradition, does it exist anywhere in the world still?
Yeah, it still exists in Portugal.
Okay.
Very little of it, but yeah, it does.
Let's finish squishing this and then go and see how it's really made.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
When the grapes are ready for harvest, which is between January to March, they are handpicked and emptied into a huge rotating drum where the grapes are mechanically crushed. The juice that comes out flows through pipes into enormous vertical cylinders. yeast is added and the juice is fermented for close to 2 to 3 months. After fermentation, the wine is collected, stashed away in bottles and left to age before final consumption. Alright.
Finally, my favorite part.
Yes, the tasting.
Okay, so we've got 6 wines lined up here.
Lovely.
Quickly, I'm going to tell you here that primarily you're looking to fill out all your senses.
Okay.
So you're looking at the wine and you're looking to smell them, see what distinct aromas you get.
Okay.
Of course, taste it.
Of course, taste it.
And don't take small sips. You want to fill out
Gulps.
your... Not gulps. You're looking to fill out your mouth and every part of your mouth. So you have different taste buds in different parts of your mouth.
Okay.
And get as much as you can out of that taste.
Okay.
And that's it.
So
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Start. Alright, it's a nice, clear looking wine.
Pale, straw yellow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
This is the Sula Sauvignon Blanc.
The Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes. Smell it.
Oh, first smell it?
With your nose in there, yeah.
Okay.
What do you get?
Smell.
What kind?
You get bell peppers.
It's sort of
Okay,
floral.
And now smell it again. Opens up the gate.
Okay, I'm doing it all wrong. Yeah.
No, that's good.
It's sort of floral.
Yeah,
Is it floral? Yeah.
It's floral.
All around your mouth.
It's very nice. It's crisp.
Yes.
And it's refreshing.
Yes.
And it's wonderful. The temperature is right. Perfectly. Nicely chilled.
Yes.
Very nice. So this is the Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, it works as a very good aperitif. It opens up your taste buds. Works well before dinner.
Okay, now. Blanc is white, obviously.
Blanc is white.
Sauvignon is what? Is the kind of
Sauvignon is the name of the grapes. Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay, name of the grapes. Okay. Tasting of wines always happens in a particular order. A light white wine, which has lower alcohol content, is tasted first, followed by a heavy white wine, which has a little more alcohol content. The white wines are then followed by red wines, but the changeover is gradual. A rosé wine, or blush as it is called, is tasted next. This wine is produced by removing the skins from the fermentation process just before the liquid turns deep red. The rosé is then followed by a light red wine and then a heavy red wine. The wine tasting finally concludes with a sweet wine, which is usually a dessert wine. Oh, it's very nice. So, let's sort of cheer, but before that, let me thank both of you all for this wonderful day.
You're welcome.
At Sula Vineyards.
welcome.
Yeah, I think I and people back home have learned a little more than we knew, or much more actually. And here, cheers. Lovely. Okay, I'm a little tipsy after all that wine tasting. That is why I've taken this really long walk to this wonderful property of the Taj Residency in Nasik. And the purpose of my visit here is to meet Chef Osman, who's promised to cook some Indian food with wine. Okay, this is the first time for me. I have never heard or even tried or even tasted any food, Indian food cooked with wine.
Well, to say so, I will be doing something different for you.
Okay.
Okay, which will have Indian flavors using Indian spices.
Okay.
Okay, and wine as a flavoring.
Okay.
Where I would be normally substituting it slightly instead of using lime, I would be using wine.
So the wine comes in for the sourness and instead of the lime.
True. Another thing, what is important to note when cooking with wine, okay, you really don't need an expensive wine to cook.
Okay.
Because the flavors really wouldn't stand out so much, especially when using it with spices.
Okay.
So I would normally use a wine which is average in nature, but not too high in tannins, yet good to taste.
Tannin content, what exactly do you mean by that?
Red wines normally have a tannin content in it, which basically comes from the skin of the grapes after crushing.
Okay.
And some particles of it normally remains in. And due to that, it adds on to a little tartar to the wine itself.
Okay.
A little acidity content of the wine would normally go a little higher.
Okay.
And most wines, where if you're using in cooking, preferably should not have so much of tannin.
So you use a less acidic wine is what
True. with Indian food, especially because you already have the spices which are too overpowering. So here we'll try and create a balance between a few of the spices and the wine.
Okay, now I see some prawns and I see some chicken. And what is it? What is exactly what that we're going to make?
Okay, I'm going to do two different preparations. One is going to be prawns, which is going to be flavored with turmeric and curry leaves.
Does it have a name?
This, of course, is going to finish off with coconut cream.
Oh, coconut cream in it.
Right, so you get the sweetness coming through from the coconut cream, as well as the kind of wine that I'm going to use. I'm using a Madeira, which is slightly on the sweeter side, white Madeira.
A white Madeira.
So that will add on to the sweetness of the dish, give it its character to the prawns, which again is a little sweeter.
Does it have a name, as I was asking, or we just call it?
Just call it Kunal.
Kunal, okay, no, we'll name it up to you.
Kunal's favorite.
Shall we start?
Okay, what we'll do is we'll slightly marinate the prawns with a little flavor of the prawns with a little turmeric. Because turmeric is normally an antiseptic and it's very useful when you're using in seafood. And I'll use the wine to mix it at this point again. The wine will be used in 2 stages over here.
And in goes a little bit of white wine.
And there'll be salt. You get the wine and the turmeric?
Yeah, very nice. Unusual, actually.
Okay, now to begin with, I'm going to use a little bit of butter.
Oh, lovely.
I'm using butter basically because if you want the wine to stand out in this, it's preferable to use butter, which is a slight salting agent, than using oil. Because oil normally you tend to overpower your palate and coat it.
Oh, is that so? So the taste of oil or the quality of oil sort of coats the palate?
The quality of oil.
The quality of oil.
The quality of butter rather would be better than using oil.
Okay.
At this stage, we'll put in the spice.
So you put in a little bit of clove and a little bit of green cardamom.
Once you get the flavors coming through the spices, that's the time you can add onions, slices in it. Normally just simmer this till the onion just to get a little softer.
A little softer, a little translucent.
Now I will add a little more butter in this here. Okay, and
Curry butter.
Curry leaves right in the center there. Then go in the prawns.
Prawns are doing quite well here. And here comes the wine.
So we'll just have to deglaze the pan. Deglazing is basically when you use wine normally would be used in cooking, whereby when you saute something in a pan, it tends to get stuck to the base, especially in continental cuisine when you're doing sauces. So it helps release those,
take it out from
and get incorporated in the sauces.
Does wine work well with vegetarian Indian food as well?
I wouldn't say so. Because vegetables normally tend to have a much milder flavor, and each vegetable has its own characteristic. Though yes, when we make our kormas and all, the flavors you can make it out from that, because it really kills the flavors of the vegetables. So that's why vegetables mostly in continental cuisine would be preferred, to do with wine, and that too with the sauces more than the vegetables themselves.
Yes, true.
Okay, we have the wine that's reduced now. Okay. The green chili.
Oh, right at the end you put it, huh?
Yeah, the reason why I've added the green chili towards the end is because we had in the beginning, the spiciness of the green chili gets really too much into the sauce.
Coconut milk.
We just have to wait for a few moments till it starts thickening by itself and starts coating the prawns.
And it's done.
And it's done with a little bit of salt in the end.
Lovely. So this is one dish called prawns with wine a la Chef Oswin.
There it is.
It is nice and thick. You're wonderful. It's really nice.
Thank you.
I can taste the wine, but it does not interfere. It doesn't make it taste alien either from what we are used to eating. It's just wonderful. Sure. I think we should move on to the chicken now.
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to chicken.
Okay.
It's a very simple dish which I've originated rather.
It's a creation of yours.
It's a creation of mine.
Okay.
Okay, using a fruit base of orange with red wine. Spices like cinnamon and pepper.
Yeah.
You have mushrooms which will balance off, because mushroom is quite a neutral flavor in a degree when you're using it in this. It'll balance off and will go well with the chicken.
Okay.
And finishing off cream.
Cream
and garlic.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay, so again we start with
butter.
For this particular dish, if people are a little on the health conscious side and don't want to use butter, they could probably also go in for extra virgin olive oil.
Okay. Okay, we've not put anything on the chicken.
Nothing else.
Okay. So you're basically just searing the chicken from outside?
Yes, it'll be seared from the out.
Okay.
And then that moves away. Then the same pan we start with the spices, the garlic, and the rest.
So let's talk about searing. What does searing the chicken do actually?
It basically holds the juices within.
So the outside gets all coated.
Whenever you sear any meat, what happens is you're applying a degree of higher temperature to the outside surface, which actually seals everything within. And then you reduce the flame and cook it a little on a slow flame. Then the inside also gets cooked in, with the heat of the moisture from within.
Okay.
So you see the brown spots?
Yeah. It's seared, it's sealed. And you've just used filet breast of chicken.
Yes. You normally notice a good seared meat when you get the plumpiness coming into it.
Yeah.
Like if you noticed it when we put it earlier, it was quite flat. And thin. But as you've seared it and then you tend to cook it, it tends to get plumpier. Another question I think which you probably should have raised.
Okay.
Kunal, this is for you.
Sorry.
You said I didn't apply anything. Okay, and especially why didn't I apply salt should be the question to this meat. It's because I'm using butter already, and the chicken really doesn't need to be marinated for a longer time. And the moment you apply salt to any meats, especially white meat like chicken or fish, they tend to ooze the water out. And they go more dry. So whenever you've probably eaten seafood or chicken which tastes very dry from within, it's probably you applied salt and kept it for too long.
It's a lesson to learn, huh? But if I was cooking in olive oil, would I then put salt or not? Even then I would put.
Just before putting it into the pan.
Just before.
You rub salt all over it.
And quickly put it on.
And then you put it over. Okay, this is kept aside.
Kept aside.
Now in this, we start with 2 sticks of cinnamon.
Right.
Hint of fresh pepper.
Fresh pepper, yeah.
Once the flavors start getting through, and you can see the butter getting absorbed in the cinnamon stick, by the time you can add a little bit of garlic.
Chopped garlic.
Once the garlic is through, we have the mushrooms. And important when you're cooking mushrooms is don't cook it for too long, because mushrooms after all is 90% water in it.
Oh, so they all shrivel up.
They all shrivel up.
In goes the wine. Now this time we're using red wine.
Red wine.
Odd now, because they say red wine should go with red meat, and we're cooking with the chicken and red wine this time.
I think that's more applicable when you're drinking wine.
It, not
along with continental food, not specifically with Indian food. The color of the sauce will amaze you later.
Yeah?
I assure you that.
Okay. There are a few surprises in store for us. In go the oranges. Just a little bit. Don't put too much orange. It will become a trifle pudding otherwise.
Okay, at this stage, you return the chicken with its juices back. And we'll finish up with the cream and salt. And now, just a light seasoning of the salt.
And now I see what you mean by an amazing color of sauce.
The cream usage in this will basically actually tone down the sourness
of the wine,
and give it a more rounded off feel to your tongue.
Done?
That's done.
Oh, done. Not bad. There we go. Lovely. And
you
black
could do with
pepper.
finishing a black pepper on.
Oh, lovely. We'll both taste. It's nice. It's lovely. It's mildly spiced. Here too I can see the...
I made a taste of the orange as well along with that. The orange is actually enhancing the wine. Come on.
And I'd never be able to categorize this as a continental dish or an Indian dish per se. It's just a lovely mixture of things here. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure on my part too.
Absolutely.
To be on this program with you.
So I hope you enjoyed this show. Meet us next week. If you want to write to us at weekend@timesnow.tv. And if you want the recipes, they're available on the website. That is timesnow.tv. See you till the next time. Bye.